All right, we are back for our daily NBA predictions here on January 8th, and this is the day you've all been waiting for. The two best teams in the National Basketball Association go at it on ESPN. We have got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Guys, we get to watch the best player in the National Basketball Association today take on the best team in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander obviously going to the Rocket Field Mortgage, Rocket House something, I don't know. Rocket Field Mortgage? Rocket Mortgage? Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. There we go. Found it. In Cleveland, Ohio. This is a big-time basketball game. OKC 30-5. Cleveland 31-4. The winner of this game led the best record in the National Basketball Association. It is a monster basketball game, and we are going to get to that in our first game today here on this Wednesday NBA slate. And folks, if you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. An hour ago, we posted our college basketball best bets for today. That's going to be running all the way through March Madness, obviously, and the NBA predictions are running all the way until the postseason. We announced yesterday that we're going to also be doing daily MLB best bets starting for opening day in March. I'm so excited for that. We're going to not just do straight money line and run line winners. We're also going to be doing player props for the MLB as well with our daily Washington Nationals bets as well. They're just going to be featured in the video. There will be a daily Washington National best bet because I watch that team every single day, and I don't know why I do that to torture myself. But I'm feeling like a gambling man right now. I got my CJ Abrams jersey on. There you go. Let's go win some money, just like my hero and inspiration, CJ Abrams. Yep. Okay. Folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily content here on the channel with predictions and best bets. Posted our UFC predictions earlier in the week between Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas. Their rematch in the UFC Apex this Saturday, and our college football predictions are out on the channel as well. Obviously, again, that starts tomorrow, the Orange Bowl between Notre Dame and Penn State. Huge one in Miami. And this is also a huge one. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, guys. I've been saying it. OKC is finishing the season 75-7. There we go. They're only losing 2 more games the rest of the year. This is not going to be one of them. I think there's a spot where they lose in Atlanta later in the year because Trae Young's that guy. Half-court buzzer beater win last night at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. And I think maybe they slip up and lose in Boston in March. Besides that, this team is going 75-7 this season. They are breaking the Golden State Warriors record of 73-9, and obviously throwing the Bulls away, obviously, at 72-10. And the Oklahoma City Thunder this year are going to establish themselves as one of the best teams of all time. Yep, I said it. That's how good Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is. He's that good. You watched that game against Boston the other night. Shai, 33-11-6. What more can you ask for out of the best player in the National Basketball Association? He's that good. This team has not lost a regular season game since December 1st. We are now over a month since this team has lost a regular season game, and they're not going to lose a regular season game until, February 28th. This team's that good. And who are they doing this without? Oh, yeah. Chet Holmgren, who's an all-star. They're doing it with Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, OKC is going to be lacking some depth tonight. We're going to have no Alex Caruso, no AJ Mitchell. That's fine. Shai's just going to have to play extended minutes, and he's going to win this basketball game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think the Cavs are a good team, obviously with 4 losses this year. They haven't played the Thunder yet, though. This team hasn't lost a regular season game since they went on the road to Miami December 8th. They've only lost once at home, I believe, all year, and it is that game, yes, it is, against the Atlanta Hawks, because Trae Young's just that guy. He makes up for half of the losses for the Cavs all season long. But OKC's going to get this team. Trust me. Shai is just a game changer on the court. He's that good. He's that good of a basketball player. Again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, after this season, guys, is going to establish himself in all-time great talks after the Thunder win a championship this year and break the single-season wins record. That's how good Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is. And guys, quick side note, I think I have found my favorite tweet of all time. I just saw this the other day, and I couldn't help but laugh. I'm going to name my child, if it's a boy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, girl, Shai Girlgeous-Alexandra, and then they Gilgeous-Alexander. Anyways, give me the Oklahoma City Thunder to cover the 2.5 points. They will win the game outright. They are the best team in America. They're that good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is that guy. He leads this team every single night without Chet in the lineup. He's averaging 31.5 and 6. This is the most valuable player in the league. He's now up to minus 150 in the MVP race. I've been calling for this guy to be the MVP since the second week of the season when he was plus 280. So again, we've been all over Shea all year long. He's the best guy in the league. The Thunder treat him like the Messiah in Oklahoma City, and the Thunder win the basketball game on the road in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go on to our next game. We move to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Now, if you watched our college basketball best bets video from earlier today, you're going to know that I was talking about earlier today, we do an all Indiana parlay. Now, our parlay yesterday didn't cash because the Los Angeles Lakers are abysmal. The Mavericks haven't won a game in a week and a half. And then, of course, they beat the Lakers without Kyrie and Luka. And then way to go, Suns, losing Charlotte. Way to go. No, way to go. Anyways, we are building the all-Indiana parlay today. We've got the Indiana Pacers money line, and we've got the Indiana Hoosiers money line. That should get you to, I think, like plus 100-ish, I think. I also don't mind parlaying the Pacers in a team later on in the video on the road against a very injured squad in New York. We'll get to that later. Give me the Pacers in the spot, though. Tyrese Halliburton's back. I've said this like 20 times this season, but no, he's officially back. Okay? Tyrese is finally back. The Pacers have now won 3 in a row. They have won 4 out of their last 5 with wins over the Celtics, Heat, Suns, and Nets. Tyrese has finally found his stroke. He's stroking it. No. He's shooting the ball well. Okay. I've now said I'm going to name my child Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and Tyrese Halliburton's stroking it in the same video. And we're only in the second game of the day. Anyways, Tyrese Halliburton has got the Pacers to 19-18, and when Tyrese is going off, this team is just so much of a better team, guys. Their last 4 wins, Tyrese 31 in the win over Boston, 33 in the victory in Miami, 27 in the win over Phoenix, 23 and 8 in the victory over Brooklyn. Oh, did I mention 15 assists in the game against Miami? Tyrese Halliburton's making that push to be an all-star again for the 3rd consecutive season. I think he's found it. I'm serious. I think he's found it. This is going to be a very high-scoring game because both these teams, again, push a quick pace, and they both try to get the ball out as soon as possible. It's going to be a very high-scoring affair, but the Pacers are simply put just the better basketball team. Zach LaVine is playing out of his mind this year. Kobe White obviously played really well in that Spurs game as well. LaVine obviously leading this team with 23 points a night. Chicago's the 10 seed right now in the Eastern Conference. Indiana is the 8th. I like the Pacers in this spot, though. The game's in Indiana. I trust them enough to put them in that little money line parlay with the Indiana Hoosiers and potentially another one with a squad that's going to be playing in a little bit that we're going to talk about later. I don't play both of them, play one or the other, depending on if you like the team we're going to talk about later or you like the Indiana Hoosiers more. But go check out our college basketball best bets video if you are confused why we're taking the Hoosiers today. But yeah, we like the Pacers in the spot. -5.5. I like them to win outright against a Chicago Bulls team that just doesn't play defense. Give me the Pacers. Okay, on to our next game. We go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards. I like the Sixers. Now, I wouldn't play it. Just stay away. Trust me, stay away. I think the best play, though, in this is Philadelphia -10.5. The Sixers do beat up on bad teams. That's the one thing I can say that they do, right? They beat the Nets when they went on the road to Brooklyn. They won the game by 19 points. They go to Portland. They win the game by 22. They beat the Hornets by 10. They beat the Hornets by 13. They beat up on bad basketball teams. When they play better teams, they lose. Obviously, the Warriors, who might have worked their way into being banned after that loss last night against the Heat, who just played a double overtime game and looked horrible and choked in Sacramento. The Warriors suck. There's no other way to put it. It really isn't. We're done picking the Warriors for the foreseeable future. Seriously, this team, the Warriors, Kings, and Suns are just trying to outpace each other in being the most disappointing team in 2025. I think by far it has to be the Kings still, even though they are on a 5-game winning streak, but still, I don't know. I feel like they're still going to blow it up, right? I don't know. Anyways, this is the one thing I can say about Philadelphia. They do blow out a lot of these teams. And the Wizards are on the schedule, so you'd expect Joel Embiid to play, but he's not playing. No Joel, no Paul George, no Kyle Lowry, and maybe no Andre Drummond. Still, though, the Wizards are pretty bad. They just are. I fell into the trap of taking the Wizards a couple times against the Pelicans. They did not come through. They just played yesterday against the Rockets, lost the game by 23 points. Second half of a back-to-back, back on the road against Philly after losing that game at home to the Houston Rockets. This is a spot where the Sixers should be able to pick up the victory, and it's not like the Sixers are the only one dealing with injuries. Potentially no Jordan Poole, potentially no Malcolm Brogdon, potentially no Kyle Kuzma, who got injured in the Rockets game. Johnny Davis, not the biggest impact player for the Wizards, but he's out as well, still with an illness. I think the Sixers should be able to come through in the spot. Do I feel great about it? No, with the injuries to PG and obviously Joel Embiid, who just can't stay healthy at this point. And obviously Jared McCain's still out for the foreseeable future. But we still have Tyrese Maxey on the squad. Caleb Martin's been shooting the ball very well this year. KJ Martin, excuse me. KJ Martin. Oh, KJ Martin out too? Oh, is he out as well? Oh, crap. No, I'm thinking Caleb Martin. Sorry. KJ Martin, yeah, is starting as well. But KJ Martin's out, I think. I still like the Sixers. I wouldn't play it, but give me Philadelphia. Next up, we move on to the New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors. Give me New York. But on the spread, I will take Toronto plus 11.5, just because the Knicks have been very disappointing. Again, another one of these games I wouldn't play. I love the Thunder today. I love the Pacers. I like a parlay spot with the Pacers and another team. We've got some late games I don't mind either. These two games with huge spreads, I just stay away from. I wouldn't bet on the Raptors to cover or the Sixers to cover. But if you force me on a pick, obviously, yes, Toronto plus 11.5 is the pick. This is the line that opened up at plus 13. It's now gone down to plus 11. And it's really just because the Knicks just poor play recently. I don't have a doubt in my mind that they don't beat the Raptors, even though they are coming off three straight losses to the best team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Chicago Bulls on the road, and losing to that very wounded and injured Orlando Magic team where they only scored 94 points. And, some of that has to be looked at as, Thibodeau is playing all these guys 40 minutes a night in the regular season. Hell, Mikal Bridges averages 40 minutes a night in the regular season. He averages 40 minutes a night. Man, I don't know. And we wonder why the Pacers will take this team out in the postseason again, or the Hawks will take them out in the playoffs. I'm just saying, one of those two teams are going to get New York this year. Seriously. The Knicks will be like they'll be the 3 seed. Yeah, Atlanta or Indiana will find the 6 seed, and they'll go to New York, and they'll win in 6. Seriously, that's what's going to happen. Just because the Knicks are going to be all worn out. They play their guys so many minutes a night, and maybe it's taking a toll because they've lost 3 in a row. I don't think they lose the Raptors, but I do think the Raptors cover. Again, the Knicks have lost 3 in a row. Cat is questionable for this basketball game. Miles McBride is questionable as well. For the Raptors, again, it's just a rebuild year. There's nothing else about it, but they are very healthy right now. Again, Emmanuel Quickley's still in the lineup. Obviously, you got Quickley, Dick, Barrett, Barnes, and Pirtle. Pirtle's been doing his thing. I think he's a trade candidate this year, definitely, though, because, the Raptors are probably going to get some value out of him. They just waived Bruno Fernando, who I feel has been in the league for years. I remember, in 2K15, I pulled his Emerald card, and it was, a 66 overall, and I wondered, why did I just spend 9,000 VC on a pack to get a 67 overall Emerald? I got really excited, because that's when Emeralds were really good. There was a good Emerald card that year. I forget. Regardless, I missed the days of great NBA 2K, my team. Now the game's just unplayable. Anyways, give me the Knicks to win. I'll take the Raptors to cover, but again, personally, just stay away. Next up, we move on to the other part of the parlay that we do like. If you want to take Pacers plus Pistons or Pacers plus Hoosiers, I like Pacers plus Pistons. I like both of them. I like the All-Indiana parlay, but I don't mind this either. Detroit's hot. They're hot. They've won 4 in a row. Portland, Minnesota, Charlotte, Magic. And then prior to that, lost at the Nuggets, but then 3 straight wins on the road in the Pacific Division against the Suns, Kings, and Lakers. They're playing great basketball. Even with the injury to Jaden Ivey, they've been playing well. I know they've been playing some competitive basketball games, but the Pistons find ways to win. They find themselves now at 18-18 on the season. They are now the 9 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they, for that, you look at how horribly they played last season. Look at them now. They're going to be a team, I think, that's in the play-in. I think right now, we have the top 9 teams that are in. Oh, dude, the Heat might fall out. I could see, no, probably not. It's the 9 teams we have right now. I don't know the order. It's the 9 teams we have right now. Then Philly will probably get it together and replace the Bulls in that play-in, I think. Anyways, I think if I had to bet, I think Orlando's going to keep losing. I'm going to be honest. I like Orlando, but until they get Banchero and Wagner back, they're going to keep losing. I think there's a chance we get Cleveland 1, Boston 2, New York 3, Bucks 4, Hawks 5, Pacers 6, and then Orlando, Miami, Philly, Detroit. No, Detroit, Philly. That's how I would rank them right now. I like the Pistons in the spot. Why? Guys, the Nets are severely injured. Look at the guys that are out for Brooklyn in this game. Cam Thomas, still out. Cameron Johnson looks like he's still out. Watford, still out. D'Angelo Russell, shin injury, he's out. Ben Simmons, questionable for this game. Bojan Bogdanovic, out with a foot injury. They are screwed. ESPN misspelled Pistons, too, on their report for Bogdanovic's injury. The Pistons will not lose this basketball game. Cade Cunningham's an all-star this season. He's playing great ball, and they shoot it really well. Guys like Malik Beasley, who will have his off nights, but when he's on, he's on. Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting it well, and Tobias Harris has been playing better basketball since the IV injury. So give me the Pistons in the spot. Like them a lot. I think, again, if you want to parlay this with the Pacers, you get about plus money. You get like minus 110-ish, I think. Give me Detroit on the road in Brooklyn. I don't see a chance in hell they lose this game against a very injured Nets squad. Next up, we go to the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I still refuse to take the New Orleans Pelicans. We are going to take them very soon. Trust me, we will. But it's a second night of a doubleheader. I don't think they win this one. I think Zion's expected to play. Obviously, Zion has a cool dunk that he had last night against the Timberwolves. They still lost, but that's obviously the headline. Oh, Zion dunked it, and the Pelicans still have 7 wins. They're 7-30. Portland's a sneaky, kind of decent team sometimes. They're 12-23 this season. A win in Milwaukee against the Bucks was impressive. They lost by 3 to the Pistons the other night, but stayed in that basketball game against Detroit. Portland's honestly not been playing too badly. I mean, it felt like in the first half against Detroit, they couldn't miss a shot. We're talking about Shaedon Sharpe. We're talking about Anthony Simons. Those guys just couldn't miss early in that basketball game. They've got some injuries. Jeremy Grant's still out with the face injury. Denny Adjiva is questionable for this game. Thybulle's still out. And Donovan Clingan is questionable for this game. I'd expect Clingan to play, I think. But regardless, I like the shooters out this Trailblazers team. I like their guards a lot. Their guard play is great. And sure, New Orleans has great guard play recently, at least, out of CJ McCollum. And, DeJounte Murray put up 29 in the loss to Minnesota last night. But at the same time, again, they are playing back-to-back in this one. And that's going to really impact this Pelicans team in a negative way. BI is obviously still out for a little bit. I don't know if Trey Murphy's going to be back or not for this basketball game. But regardless, I like the Portland Trailblazers, who are sneaky, I don't know. I kind of banned them after I watched them lose by 50 in person at the Rose Garden to the Grizzlies, but I think they're kind of, they're kind of a tricky team. I think they're better than this bad Pelican squad. Zion, again, yes, 22 last night, but is he going to do that in back-to-back nights after not playing for a couple months? No. Give me Portland on the road in New Orleans against the Pels. Next up, we go to a big game of sorts in Denver, Colorado. We have got the Nuggets on a second night of a back-to-back taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. I like the Clippers in this spot. Why? The Nuggets are very hurt. The Nuggets are very hurt for this basketball game. No Aaron Gordon, no Nikola Jokic. That is going to hurt this basketball team so much. It just will. Again, Jokic makes this Nugget squad. He just does. He didn't play the Celtics game due to illness, and Aaron Gordon didn't either. I don't expect either of them to play this game here against the Clippers. So when, again, you take away Jokic and you take away Aaron Gordon, this team is just... they kind of fall apart. Again, yeah, they were somewhat competitive with the Celtics, but obviously Boston ended up winning that basketball game. Russ with 26 in that game for the Nuggets. But you get a starting lineup now for the Nuggets of Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown, Dario Saric, and Michael Porter Jr. That's just not going to cut it to win some of these games. Peyton Watson plays a lot off the bench with Julian Strawther and DeAndre Jordan, but I really don't think that's a winning formula, especially a Clippers team that has their voodoo magic shooting. They hit almost every shot they take, it feels like, and Norman Powell's been balling. He's an all-star this season. He better get that recognition. Norman, again, leads this team almost every single night. Amir Coffey has been really good this year as well, and obviously, again, James Harden's been good, Zubac has been great, and then obviously you insert Kawhi Leonard, who's just getting back into the swing of things. I like Los Angeles a lot in the spot, especially with the injuries and the uncertainties around this Denver lineup. Give me the Los Angeles Clippers on the road at the Ball Arena against the Denver Nuggets. Okay, on to our final game of the night, kind of a late one in Milwaukee, an 8:30 p.m. start, obviously, in Wisconsin, 6:30 on the West Coast, but you got the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. I can only assume this is the second half of the ESPN doubleheader. Yeah, it is. That's why it's at this time. I like the Spurs on the road. Yeah, I do, actually. I think the Bucks are too inconsistent for my liking. Honestly, I think the Spurs pull off a big upset. The Spurs feel like they're due right now. Losing back-to-back games at home against Denver, then on the road in Chicago. Games that they were very competitive in. Overtime loss to the Nuggets. A Bulls loss only by 4 points. I feel like they're due. I really think they are. Wembanyama, again, it's going to be a fun matchup. Wembanyama down low. I don't know who's going to be guarding him. Maybe Giannis, but probably Brook Lopez. Don't know who they're going to put on Wemby. They got some injuries with the Bucks, but I think all these guys are going to play. Giannis, Andre Jackson, and Chris Middleton are all probable for this basketball game. Again, that means they should give it a go. But I just feel like the Spurs are due for one. Again, back-to-back close games where they just came out on the losing end. For Milwaukee, this is a squad that has been struggling. Losing 4 of 6, losing to Brooklyn at home, losing to Chicago on the road. Of course, they beat the Pacers, but it is what it is. Losing to the Brooklyn Nets at home, losing to the Trailblazers at home. And then they went to Toronto and won, but the Raptors have just been abysmal all year long. So You're returning back home against a Spurs team that can shoot it, and when the Spurs are on, they are on. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama. We're talking about Devin Vassell. We're talking about Chris Paul, honestly, who's been a great add for this team this season. We're talking about Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie, who's one of the best spot-up shooters in the association. I think the Spurs are still going to be without Jeremy Sochan in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Sochan's been ruled out for this game due to back tightness. It is what it is. I still like San Antonio on the road here. Again, I just feel like they're due for two back-to-back close games, and the Bucks have just been way too inconsistent. Milwaukee's been losing games that they should win. They lost their last 2 home games against the lowly Brooklyn Nets and the Portland Trailblazers. And you know who played in those games? Both Giannis and Damian Lillard. So I think the Spurs actually get it done in this game. I like them on the road. The safe play here is +5.5 for San Antonio, but you can also take the +170 as well. I don't mind either for the Spurs in this spot, but ultimately, again, I think they go on the road to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I think they take care of business here against the Milwaukee Bucks to push the Spurs now over 500 again. They will be 19-18 on the regular season, being right now the 9 seed in the Western Conference, and the Bucks continue to kind of struggle like they did earlier in the year. So give me San Antonio in the nightcap on ESPN in Milwaukee against the Bucks. So folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here on January 8th. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Make sure again to join us for our college basketball best bets that were posted earlier in the day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you have not yet. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks, folks. Thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.